Thank you very much for joining me today. This is season 2, video 1, called Intertwined Companies. Today I will try to explain some of the declared property companies to my family. As you can see here on the left, it represents one of the offshore islands, is Company A. The trustee in that offshore island, remember, made Company B to collect the UK rents for some of the properties that were held in trust on that Pacific island, and especially in relation to the shopping centre. Company C is a UK property company. It's my grandfather's first property company that still runs today. My father is still a director since 1977 and has been squeezed out of that company by the trustee. Company D and Company E are under control of the other offshore island. They were also, the individuals who control those companies work for the certain trust service provider in the other offshore island that was exposed on the Dirty Money Programme World in Action 1988. Now, Company F is a company called Bramtros. The reason I can reveal that name is because it's a company that was set up for the benefit of solely my brother and I, and that was destroyed by the trustee in the offshore island where he controls Company A. I can go into that on another video, but it's in relation to the land to do with the shopping centre. Over on the next page here, you can just see all of the companies I've just referred to. They have mortgages that they lend money to each companies. Really, it's a lot more than what's actually showing on the screen. I could have put on many more mortgages, but I'll leave that for the moment. Over on the next page here, you can see this is an original deed signed by my grandmother and my mother in relation to Bramtros, and Bramtros being able to collect certain rents and keep a certain percentage of the rents for their services. Over on the next page here, you can see the original price of some of the land that my grandfather purchased was £980,000, just under £1 million, in 1987. So just an example of some of the historical documents my family hold. Here's an example again of a mortgage between Company A and Company C, the UK property company. £600,000 is owed. They had to surrender the management lease on the land in order for the shopping centre to go ahead and be built. On the next page here, you can see Company A was formed by my grandfather in 1987. On the 18th of August. He paid just over £1 million to form that Pacific offshore property company. Over on the next page here again, it's just showing some of the records we hold. It's Bramtros, that's the company that got destroyed. My grandfather was still alive on the 5th of July 1988. He set this up for the benefit of my brother and I. On the next page here is just an example of a letter explaining how intertwined the companies are and to be careful from a UK tax point of view, etc., etc. Over on the next page here, you can see that Company A has given permission, or rather the two controlling other companies, which is Company D and Company E, give permission to Company A to make votes on behalf of certain business transactions. Just shows they're very intertwined. Again here, this is Company D trying to make out that there's 980 grand actually owed on a mortgage, when that's just lies. That's an example of the other intertwined companies and directors trying to get money back from different property companies under their control in their jurisdiction. So again, you can see there's another £415,000 they were trying to make out they were owed. So on this letter here, we can see that my father is apparently not instructed as a property agent, even though that was the purpose of Bramtros, and he's been told not to collect the rents now. Here's an example of a letter from Mr. Baisley White, who used to represent my family, talking about certain amounts of money that should be paid to Company A by the original tenants. Here's an example of a letter going to my father, just talking about Company A, Company D and Company E. They're very intertwined, and the whole point of doing this video is to explain to the viewer that all of these companies are very intertwined, and they successfully build shopping centres and property development around the world, but they failed to ever get the accounts from the other offshore island or ever pay my family any money since the unsigned trust deed of 1978. So again, you can see on this page here, it's just referring to Company A, Company C, Company D and Company E, all in one letter. So, they have to work like one hand in a glove to make all of these building operations and projects work. So again, they don't pay our side of the family because they just want to keep it. Over on the next page here, you can just see more information to do with the Pacific Shopping Centre. And this was actually, some of the units were sold just after the fire. And we owned all of the land, and then there's the shopping centre. So what do you think I'm alleging there is people are selling units off knowing that we've got the planning permission and selling it to their friends or their colleagues. On the next page here, you can see the intentions of the trustee in the other offshore island when he had Company A that my grandfather had paid over £1 million to form. And he decides to incorporate a company called Company B. It was incorporated on the 11th of June 1991, so it shows his intentions 6 months after he's been in his position of power. Again, on this page here, it's just showing some information with regards to the legal position of properties, and the trustees saying that you need to go and speak to Company C. It's got nothing to do with him. On this page, it is a letter from the registry to do with the land registrar, back in 1990, saying that Company B is a intercompany of Company A. So really, why did he need to form this company? It would be my question. We already had one. It's just because he doesn't want to give you accounts. Again, on this page here, you can see that Company A was owed a £600,000 mortgage from Company C. Again, here you can see my family strongly. It's obviously important that this application is resisted strongly, and no doubt will be taken action against the HMLR. So that's basically to do with the Land Registry Department, making sure that the caution is still lodged on the land. And again, with this letter, you can see my family we strongly object to the cancellation of the caution. So I don't know how they've managed to get around that, even though it was our land, and he's selling units before. Right, on this letter, it's a letter from Lewis and Dick, used to represent my family. You can just see here that we're concerned about Company A having the ability to steal assets from Company C. So we're discussing that we should freeze the ability of Company A to deal with assets of Company C. Over on the next page here, you can see that there's a certain individual. There's one lady that's been involved since the beginning. She's basically been a director of lots of different companies and done lots of questionable things in my mind. As you can see, it says here, may well have a conflict of interest in this situation in view of many hats she has worn in the past and continues to wear. So the company's all intertwined, and they've profited, and my family, or the beneficiaries on this side of the family, have not. So again here, it's just another letter from Lewis and Dick, who used to represent our family, saying he's going to do his best to keep the pot boiling. So there's an example of intertwined companies, how they can successfully build shopping centres and end up not paying the beneficiary or the true heirs money. They do not even give us accounts. We're not even shareholders of some of these companies, even though we're the beneficiaries. So be very careful if you're going to use any of these offshore islands, because after all these decades, you come for your money and it's not there. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.